Welcome friends, Keith Savage here, and I'm very happy to show off my very first Corvette to you. I hope you enjoy the tour. Let's get started, shall we? At the bottom I'm going to put up some specifications. It's not everything I used in the build, but most of the main things. My theme for this build was a pirate ship, a space pirate, not a strange hybrid of a sailing ship and a spaceship, but an outright space pirate ship. In any case, I liked it. I think it turned out pretty good. But let's look around the inside, shall we? Now, I made a few mistakes, and I will not hesitate to talk about those. One of which you just saw, putting the glass windows up there kind of blocks those spray vents that make my little seating areas look like shower chairs, at least when the hatch is open. That's only a minor thing. It's kind of hard to even notice unless you coming in the hatch. This is my main cockpit area. It's kind of a seating area for the cockpit, and the decorations turned out really well. I love how the space anomaly maps right onto the blocky texture of the padding, and that turned out real well as the pirate decal I put up here on these rotating vents. I really like how decals look when they're overlaid onto rotating parts. It may not be for everybody, but the idea was to make it look cluttered and piratical, maybe. Certainly I was going for a look similar to the Millennium Falcon without looking like the Millennium Falcon. It's kind of hard to get away from that when they deliberately made the dining area look like the Millennium Falcon's recreational seating. Let's go ahead and shut the hatch so we don't have shower chairs in the back section. I put that black locker in there it looked like a really good spot. I thought that turned out well. I ended up doing it several more times throughout. And as I said, this is the mission hab. It is the place where all the crew does their work. It has their mission radar. Let's take a look at it. I don't want to catch fish, but quicksilver is really the only thing I need from any mission, really. I can farm all the nanites I need, and I pretty much don't need any of the other stuff. Ion batteries, I made those by second week in the game. Now I really like this. The decal on the outside maps just enough to the inside to give it a nice tarnished, rusty look, adding to the piratical decor. And this is another thing that turned out really well. When I saw that the windows railings clip through, I was like disappointed, although it did kind of look good. But I decided I'd use it for a storage catch-all and just throw stuff behind it. And I ended up putting these fabricating barrels in. I may put some more decor in there just to make it look used. Over here is another locker. And the back side of this hab is where I keep all the booty. As you can see there to the left is my shower chair. And of course I had to put up my two expedition decals. Relics went over here. And in the corner there is one of my signature ice sculptures. I always like making them glow, and there's a little tiny trick to that. I don't know if you can see it, but at the very back is a very miniaturized lantern, which gives off quite a lot of light for being basically a candle, but it allows the ice to really glow. And of course it lights up this whole corner. And there's the refiner. I love that refiner. It fits so well with the decor. You know, it fits really well with the Thunderbird. They're all themed to their type of hab. And this is what I'm calling the shower chair, since it gets sprayed with one of those exhaust vents when the hatch is open. But it looks pretty good otherwise. It was one of the things I did not see until late last night when I realized, oh, those windows look great, but they're clipping a little bit. But it's okay. It doesn't look that bad. Now let me show you something else I did for decor purposes. I wanted to shrink the decal to fit the globe, but it was good enough just to get the figure inside the globe. It worked pretty good, I think. Although it did have one problem. That decal shows on the outside. Thankfully, it's mostly covered up by the Ambassador Sublight Thruster. That's mistake number 2. I love how that rail goes right through the padding. It looks so perfect. It fits. First thing I figured out is you put your multi-tools in the bed so that if you're a pirate and you need a quick weapon, if you've woken up in the middle of an attack or something, you can grab your multi-tool. Now, of course, I'm going to give you these glyphs as well. Hope you enjoy. That was one of my little favorite innovations, putting the multi-tool rack inside the berth. And then I love the fact that the sleeping window needed a curtain, so I gave it a special pirate curtain. And on this side, matching the other side, it's also got a fabrication barrel behind the railings. And then I put this server in the wall for the other side mainly, but it shows through here as well, gives a little extra detail. I really, really love the industrial, trashy decor of the Thunderbird habs. And of course, here is the Millennium Falcon recreation, which seems obligatory, but they did a really good job. I love that. And here's my other ice sculpture, also glowing, with the Titan decal on the wall. And if you can see it better, I think you can see the lantern on this one just a little bit better. I was having problems getting those in. It kept saying base out of range if I got it too close to the wall. Also, the decal kind of clips the ice sculpture a little bit there, gives it some more glow. Over here, the shower chair doesn't quite work. The shower is not in the right position, but it still works pretty good. Like I said, I love being able to look right out the hatch. Those windows are perfect to give people a view, make sure that no one's just going to walk into your spaceship. And of course, a hazard protection unit, some extra seating. And I just love this game table and the nutrient processor. Look at that thing. I'm thinking I'll build that in real life for a actual tabletop. Of course, it won't project holograms, but at least it'll light up. Now I'm taking this very slow. I put a lot of video in because I didn't know how much I'd be talking. I didn't know how long a look you wanted everything. But I hope you get a good look. And I hope I'm explaining it enough that you understand. But if there's anything you need to know, just ask. Put it in the comments or, talk to me on Discord. I had to have a second look. That is just awesome. I love that thing. It even has controls right up front. Little lights on them too, I just noticed. That is so awesome. I kind of wish these blue uplights from the floor would disappear after you finalize the ship. Of course, you can modify it later, so maybe they should just disappear whenever you're not in build mode. I'm not sure, but I think they indicate where you can put stuff in. But hard to say. I just don't like them. They don't look like they're part of the ship. They look like something you'd see in a build mode. Now here, of course, I wanted to give you a very good look at what pulse drive looks like inside this cockpit. I love it. In fact, I'm thinking of building a whole ship that's nothing but a long, narrow tube made out of glass. You can also get a little hint of those decals I put on the outside of the window. But don't worry, I'll give you a very good look at them later when we do the outside portion of the tour. Right now, just look at that pulse drive. Isn't that lovely? So I can say I definitely like it. Here I'm getting the ship ready so you can see the outside tour, but we're going to do that on this nice Earth-like planet where I built a base. I'm going to cut this to make it a little bit easier. We'll just quickly get to the planet. This way you can get a little bit of flight time in the tour as well. I did not discover this planet, but I was invited to build a base here. And I'm really glad I did. It's one of the best sky and watercolored planets I've found. Very, very Earth-like. Also tropical, which I also love. Here's a base where you could definitely put one of those pirate ships in the water. And it would look perfectly natural. Now here I want to make sure to show you one of the features of the Corvette. I realize you probably already know this, but it just looks so good and it is so cool. But I got to land properly first, or find a spot to hover over properly first. I think we'll stop right about here where I'm right over the land and we don't have any problems with hanging off if I have to fly up there walk around a little bit. See there, I love how that just tells you right where it's going to put the teleporter. I had to cut that. That's another bug. It shows the procedural original name on the pilot chair. I don't know if that's just me or everybody. I have to say, it is a nice ship. I've seen plenty of others 10 times as lovely, though. Now, I had to go into photo mode to get this properly, so I hope you'll forgive me of that. You can see my serial number. The Medusas, the pyro engines. I like how those Medusas have those owl-eyed lights in the back. I thought that looked really nice. I also love the red and black designs. That metallic red looks really good on the metallic black. I forget what those vents are called there, but they work really good to blend the Ambassador Sublight Thrusters to the ship. And there's my decals. They turned out really good. Of course, the torpedo launchers. Here's another little thing. Those pop-up vents look perfect to go behind the torpedo launchers. That way, any heat or blast from the torpedoes launching will be thrust away from the ship, bounced up and away. I thought that was perfect, although originally I had them in the front of the ship, and then I started putting torpedoes on and realized they would look much better behind the torpedoes, definitely not in front of them. Those light up cowlings that are in the front of the Speedbird cowling there. I forget what those are called, but they clipped in so perfectly I had to keep them. Now here is the ship in a water landing. Just so you can get another look at it, slightly different light and slightly better video. You know, I was able to cameraman it just a little bit better. Give you another look at the whole ship. I love those Ambassador Sublight Thrusters. The only problem is putting them on the sides of the ship. On such a small ship as this, there isn't a room for any other wings or any other kind of attachments. And of course, now you get my beautiful little Wonder Projector mascot. This dino is the first predator I came across, and he ate me. Literally, I think the 4th day I was playing the game. So he has been commemorated as my mascot and gunner for the pirate ship. I forget the name of the species. Electrivivorum. Here's a nice little picture of him animated. I did have some problems though with the footing. Yeah, so you get a good look at him. He moves continuously. I love how his feet did not clip. I had to adjust the Wonder Projector about 6 times to get it just right. Okay, now we're back inside the ship. And I wanted you to just see just how gently it floats on the waves. As long as there's not a freighter warping right on top of you. But yeah, it looks great floating here. Nice, gentle, really feel like you're on a boat. If you did a actual sailboat pirate ship and put it in the water, you could get this effect really nice. Anyway, I like it. It's a beautiful ship. I worked really hard on getting it together. I hope you like it as much as I do. Anyway, take care, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys at Good Guys Free. I sure appreciate all the hard work you do. Thank you again. Take care.